cake or something?
We had scones.
Oh, we did, yeah. I didn't know they were lockdown scones, but whoop, whoop, they were. So lockdown day 50. Okay, so it's Friday again. We seem to vlog on Fridays.
It's definitely day 50.
Scones.
I've got a ledger.
Okay, but for you, it's also day 5.
Yeah, I'm not smoking.
So it's happening.
You see how happy I am? I haven't been that bad. Come on.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't actually.
Was that you love me?
Yeah, I do. That's
Okay.
what I was saying. Okay, so it's Friday again. So if you've been following these vlogs, you'll know that this last week was a hard week with losing Mishka. But she's now at her new home and happy and settled, I'm sure.
She's had her op and that's
she's had her
fine.
op. Yes. So it's all good. I
We
mean,
feel
it's-
much better about
Yes, that she's fine, yeah.
Mm.
It was a difficult week. I think Sunday night neither of us slept at all.
No, you painted and
I painted, yeah. I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning painting. And I think because I was so emotional and because it was so late, I was actually able to paint an abstract, which I'm never normally able to because I like things to be sort of symmetrical and for an abstract it can't be. So feeling a little bit tired and emotional kind of helped. Oh, and we had a virtual Mother's Day tea. So Sunday was Mother's Day. And so we set up our iPad on the shelf. I made these kind of quasi-scone type of things.
Delicious. With Nutella and
yes,
cream.
and cream and stuff. And Casey's had her like fine bone china and beautiful teapot and teacups and whatever. And we had a nice FaceTime with the kids for 1 hour and a bit, which was nice. And then I always had this tradition of a Mother's Day photo, but obviously we're in different houses this year and because of lockdown we couldn't get together. So Justin suggested that we did like a virtual Mother's Day photo. So I asked them each to take a photo and send it to me, and then I cut out a Jordan and a Casey, and Justin took a photo of me, and then I added Casey on the one side and Jordan on the other. It was actually quite funny because while I was cutting it out, and when you first cut around the image, it comes out tiny, so I had like a little Jordan on one hand and a Casey on the other hand. That's hilarious. And then we also found out that FaceTime has these weird, like, add-ons that you can put, that you can add on during a phone call, during a chat. Remember
The one
that?
with the car face.
Yeah, suddenly Casey looked like a cow. And there was guitars and all sorts of random stuff. I'm not sure what that's about.
So we had fun, messed around a bit.
It was really nice. Our death toll?
No idea.
No idea.
I haven't been following the news that closely lately.
Let me look quickly.
There's 2 reasons for that. One is that News 24, who are kind of like our primary news providers, they rehash the same things over and over, especially in times like this where, you know, news is important. It's just half of its opinions that have just been rehashed on opinions about facts, like 10 times. So if you go to the first 10 articles, it's probably about an article that was written an hour ago. So I can't do that anymore. I've got bored of it. And the second thing is that I've lost interest in the government's approach to this. Completely. They are brutalizing people in many ways. They are nonsensically extending things, as well nonsensically taking things away from people, freedoms away, changing times. It seems very arbitrary the way they're doing things. And as long as there were explanations, I may have been like, okay, fine. But there's no explanations. We had Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, had a speech, and his speech was really just so he could show up and say something, because the public needed something. But he said nothing, and he knows it. And it was just, we are just in a time where instead of being this common, you know, ally, all of us, the state, us civilians, you know, and the army, working together against this enemy, which is the coronavirus. It feels like now the biggest enemy are the ones in power, who are now controlling, and it feels like we're living in kind of like, you know, a nanny state, which is just...
Things like a curfew that used to be 8 o'clock with a grace period till 9 is now 7 o'clock with no grace period. So people who are working, like a friend of mine who runs a restaurant, a fast food outlet, her staff have to be off by 6 so that they can be home by 7. That's supper time when people are trying to order food. So that really just ruins her business. And the idea behind lockdown was to allow the medical field a chance to, get prepared and get ready for when the spike.
Which they said they have.
Yeah, for when the curve spikes. But changing a curfew doesn't do that. Preventing people from walking on the beach or making sure that they only walk in a certain period of time on a certain path.
Or smoking.
Yeah, those things don't flatten the curve or slow the curve or have anything to do with preparedness. Anyway, the death toll is 247. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
No, the death toll is 247.
See, but that is still, I know that's a lot of people, that have lost their lives, and a lot of families that are going through hurt that I can't begin to imagine. However, in comparison to what the world has been devastated by, and in comparison to the population, even in Durbanville, that is an extremely small amount that doesn't need the excessive regulations that we are seeing.
Because
so
we
that's
have
what I'm
in
trying
fact
to say.
delayed the curve.
Yeah, we have compared to other countries. I'm not in any way minimizing the lives that have been lost.
Sure, but we've done the flattening that we were supposed to do with this lockdown.
But the measures...
Now can they ease it up, please?
Yeah, the measures, it feels like we've lost millions of lives. That's how they're treating this. And it just...
Yeah. No, level 4 is in many ways more restricted than level 5 was. So, and for most of us, we still can't go back to work. So level 4 is just a joke.
So yes, I've done the 360, but that's the great thing about a mind. It can be changed.
The 360 don't face the same way again. Haven't you done a 180?
180.
13,524 positive cases, 6,083 recoveries.
Okay.
247 deaths and 785 new cases. So when our spike has been slowed down or our curve has been slowed down, our spike is still coming. Yeah. But there's no point, we can't carry on this kind of stranglehold of lockdown until the spike happens in September. I mean, the spike is going to happen anyway. And people need to live and make a livelihood, make a living in the meantime.
You see, most people, I would say at this point, would rather take their chances and start working.
Knowing that we're probably all going to get it anyway.
Yeah, like, let me work, let me make some money for my family. Let's go back to normality. Yeah. Sure, yes. We're going to get sick anyway. Yeah. That's what you're telling us. Yeah. That's what the professionals are telling us. So why don't you allow us to try and keep our economy afloat? Yeah,
and go back to work with social distancing and maybe skeleton staff, like some people working mornings and others working afternoons or Monday, Wednesday, Friday with masks, social distancing and all that. But at least just let businesses start up again, like hairdressers and dog clippers and just things that don't make sense.
So many people that have spent their lives, even, the majority of their lives, building small businesses from home, maybe cleaning services, etc. That have just lost their pride and joy almost, in some cases. Yeah. This thing that they've worked hours and hours for, gone. Yeah. And some are hanging on to it for their life, and it's going to be gone soon. Yeah. And they just aren't explaining why they're continuing with these stringent measures. And the facts that we are seeing do not need this type of restriction. You know what I mean? They don't relay that this is the correct way to handle it. Yeah. So convince me otherwise.
But we're all feeling a little bit hurtful, really.
I think it's amplified because they took away my smokes and I had to quit. But I mean...
Okay, but they didn't take away my smokes, and I still think that it's now too much, too long.
Yeah.
As much of a fan as I was of the idea in the beginning and of the government for doing this, too much, too long, too few explanations, too many illogical rules.
Have too much power. Power corrupts.
Having said that, we are still healthy.
Yes, we are.
Some of us less than others because we're giving up smoking, but others of us are fine. Jordan and Casey are fine. Lookie's fine. Actually, with little Erwin. And that's day 50. And Mishka's fine, yeah. And that's day 50.
Yeah, thanks for joining us and
Friday night. Have a good weekend.
Bye.